Let's talk a little bit more about this Raindrop Therapy kit from Young Living that we're using this month. Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Minke. This is Minke Wellness. And in order to get good at using essential oils, and especially when we get into sort of a little bit more of a specialty application such as the Raindrop Therapy, the only way to really get good at it is to play with the oils, practice with them, kind of, there isn't any way that you can watch a video and read a book and feel good and comfortable with using essential oils. So we're going to go through just a few things that you can do to get familiar with your kit, to get a little bit more comfortable, and then just start working with it. And I'm going to do a separate video when I get the camera set up on the table to actually show you the Raindrop Therapy. But you don't have to wait for me to do that. If you're itching to get going on your Raindrop kit, just do a YouTube search on Raindrop Therapy, and there's a whole bunch of people who have demonstrated the Raindrop Therapy technique. You're going to find different ways that people do it. There's no absolute magic. I've been in Young Living for 20 years, and I've trained with Gary, many times. And he does it differently, slightly differently each time. There is at this point, I think, sort of a more official methodology, but it's not magic. It's an application of essential oils to the spine and then also to the feet and reflexology. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the foot application today because of just the video setup, and also about getting familiar with the essential oils. So what we have in our kit is the 9 oils that we've talked about already, is the Valor. So when you get your kit, it comes with the Raindrop Technique Guide. In that guide, it actually talks about preparing for the aroma experience, and you actually get the big fold out, and it talks about all the different strokes and techniques and things that can go in with this. The first part of it goes over working with the feet. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. And obviously, a kit like this, something that you're applying to the spine, is difficult for you to do on your own. But this part on the feet, you can. And so there's actually a lot of application you can get from this kit just by yourself, on your own, without having anyone work with you, okay? And so we've got our oils, we've got our Valor. I'll just go through sort of the way in order in which I apply them. Valor is our first one, balances energy. Very grounding, very balancing, the Valor Blend. It's over here, a purple bottle, purple oil, very deep blue oil. We do Oregano and Thyme. If those were supplements, for example, they would be very supportive of the immune system. But those are very sharper oils that you want to be, if you put them on a sensitive part of the skin, you're going to feel the tingle, you're going to feel a little bit of a burn on those. Then I do basil, cypress, peppermint, and wintergreen as a block, as a combination. I'm going to show you later another technique in the technique video. I'm going to show you how to do a raindrop in really short, quick, sort of a streamlined version. So the basil, cypress, wintergreen, and peppermint, and then the last two are kind of more massage for the muscles, and that's marjoram and aroma seeds. So those are the oils in the blend, and then we have also the V6 blend. This is old bottle, but for diluting, and then the Ortho Ease as a muscle rub. Now, what I've done is I took an empty bottle. It happened to be a peppermint bottle, and I would recommend, if you using empties, use the similar one to what you're doing. So there was a raindrop oil, in this case peppermint oil. It's in the Raindrop kit. And what I've done is I've taken an empty bottle, peeled the label off, and I added 10 drops of each of the oils. There are 9 oils. I've added 10 drops of each of the oil, and I've made a Raindrop Blend. Okay, I've labeled it on the top RB, Raindrop Blend. And this is the blend that I work with when I just need to do it. I need something fast. It also helps me. There's two applications with this Raindrop kit. One is the body's experience with each of the oils individually, and you can do that by working with each of the oil individually. I take the Valor, I smell it, after it, put a drop on, feel it on my body, breathe it in, spend some time, 1 minute with each oil. It'll take you less than 10 minutes, and go on, and then I'd move on to the next one. In the case of the order that I like to put them in Raindrop Therapy, which my box just fell, so they're all out of order, is oregano. So I have my oregano oil. You can smell the oregano. I mean, if you've ever had oregano in the field, or fresh oregano, really, right, and you smell it, there's no doubt this is oregano. And you just, again, one drop, and put it on the skin. Inhale it, feel it. Okay, now the oregano, like I said, is a little bit sharp. So you can do that for each of the oils individually, and so you get familiar. The only way that you're going to know how to use oils and work with them and get comfortable with them is to play with them. Just get them out, start working with them, a couple drops here and there, and experience them. So you're going to breathe them in, spend time with each of those. But also in the Raindrop kit, or as a therapy, you're going to have, the body's going to experience all of those oils all together. Now, not all at one time, but eventually that whole system is going to be on the spine. So what I like to do is get this blend, this Raindrop Blend, and experience this as a whole, okay? And so again, I could put a drop, and you notice that it's still blue. You see that? It's still blue, even though there's only 10 drops of Valor in there. So it's really and so that is a whole Raindrop Therapy in one bottle. Now what I'm going to do with this is do the foot application and do a little bit of this VitaFlex, and I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to tilt the camera down. I'm going to still talk, but what you're going to see is me applying the oils to the feet. And so this is a nice blend that you can start getting familiar with the Raindrop Therapy as all the oils, as an entire oil kit right here in one bottle. And then as you work with it on your feet, and you get the first portion of the Raindrop Therapy that you can do on yourself. I'm not saying don't do each of the oils individually on your feet. It just takes more time. This is a fast way to get the benefit of all the oils, start getting familiar with the oils in the kit, and get some personal therapy, that you can do on yourself. So it's very hard to do Raindrop Therapy on your own back. You can, you can apply it, and you can get that on, and we'll go talk about a little bit more about that. But anyway, here's our blend. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply these to the feet, each foot, and do some of this VitaFlex thing. So the premise of the VitaFlex is similar to reflexology from a standpoint of the acupuncture points that have been mapped by the Chinese medical system, 5,000 different acupuncture points that line up in channels or meridians that can be mapped on the skin. These are electrical impedance, you can actually follow them and tag them. And then where you have scars that cross those, it kind of messes that up. So it's very, very scientifically documented. This isn't a religion. It's not well understood, admittedly, that we don't have a lot of understanding of what's going on. So it just means that there's a lot about the body we don't understand. But these energy channels or meridians have been mapped and utilized for thousands of years in the Chinese system, and of course we know that now as acupuncture, that you can go down to most towns have an available acupuncturist of some kind, either associated with a chiropractor or whatnot. But so these points anywhere on the body can be stimulated just simply by putting pressure. They're more accurately stimulated by putting a needle in that precise place, and that's the basis of that. Well, here what we're going to do is just use the pressure. Well, all of those meridians and channels focus down at the hands and feet because that's where they end up, and of course they go all over. But we can kind of identify them in the hands and feet. So in the feet, we talk about that from a sort of VitaFlex. So those are the VitaFlex points that we're looking to stimulate. There's reflexology, which is a little bit different thing, where the organ systems, you've probably seen the map of the whole body organ system imprinted over the hand, and you can say, oh well, the spine's over here and this and that, and that's fine too. I'm going to just basically go over this real quick. So I'm going to tilt the camera down and show you how I do a quick Raindrop Therapy on my feet, and if I could get this. So here is I just get to the bottom of my feet here, and okay, so here we go. You can see my nice dirty feet. I'm going to take my bottle and just put 3 drops, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to spread it around. Okay, now this is my Raindrop Blend. It's got 10 drops of each of those oils. I'm just spreading it. Now my fingertips are going to go in and put pressure. Now again, imagine all these channels running this way. I've got my fingertips, and I'm just going to press. Now the VitaFlex technique is a press, roll, and release. So put pressure on the fingertips, break that connection by putting it on the fingernails, and then release. Obviously having short fingernails is important in this context. So I'm going to go right up these channels, press, roll, and release, press, roll, and release, press, roll, and release. And I'm just going to hit all the points, all the channels, all at once. And so I'm going to do that. And again, I want to go all the way to the tips of the toes, because the channels go all the way to the front. So I'm going to start all the way at the back and go all the way forward. Press, roll, and release, press, roll, and release, press, roll, and release. And do that one more time. And basically I'm done. I've just gone through and stimulated all my points. I'm going to switch to my other foot, get my oil, 1, 2, 3, spread it, okay, and then press, roll, and release, press, roll, and release, all the way up the channels, including the toes. And I don't know, can you see what I'm doing? Press, roll, and release, press, roll, and release, press, roll, and release. I'm just inching up, ooching up on each, and then ending out on the tops of the toes. And I do that 3 times. And this oil blend has the oregano and thyme. It has some spicy oils in there, so you might actually feel just the little burn, sting, whatever you want to call it, from the oil. And so if you need to dilute, you can go ahead and dilute. You've got your V6, we got our V6 mixing oil. You would just take a little bit in the hand, which that's sealed, so I'll just do this one. So it doesn't take much, and then spread that over the foot, spread that over the other foot, and then I've got it all soothed out, if that were a problem. Okay, so we'll come back up. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, and I can do that once a day, and I've got 6 drops. So 6 drops once a day. I could do as 3 drops each foot. If I did that twice a day, that would be 12 drops. I would go through my 90 drops, because 10 drops from each of 9 oils is 90 drops. I would go through my 90 drops in about a week. Okay, so for the rest of the time, we could just do 1 week where we're going to do twice a day, stimulating all the reflex points, the VitaFlex points, with our Raindrop Blend as a self-therapy, to experience the oils and play and feel the whole Raindrop kit, but the power of those oils coming through the energy system. And then I can breathe and open up my channels, and I can imagine from my feet all the way through to my head, these channels being stimulated and opened up and flowing, right? So I got flowing, and that comes from the ground, from the earth, flowing up through me, right? I could imagine them going back the other way, but I kind of am working from the feet up, right? And so feeling the right foot and all those channels. I imagine if I, maybe 6 channels on the right and 6 channels on the left. If we've got 12 channels, maybe there's 2 right in the tailbone, but anyway, just, okay, and then left. So I'm just breathing and pulling and feeling those channels open up, and I can actually feel some of these channels blocked in the spine. So that'd be great to go and actually do the Raindrop Therapy on the spine at this point, which I'm not going to show you right now. So, okay, so that's the Raindrop Kit. Another little video talking about the Raindrop Kit. How do we get familiar with the oils? Work with each oil individually. You can do what I just did there with each oil individually. Obviously, you can that would take a lot more time. But this is an easy way to make a Raindrop Blend, and then you can do this, real quick. It takes 5 minutes, not even 3 minutes, and you're off and running, and you get some of the Raindrop. You've utilized the whole Raindrop Kit in that application. Okay, we'll talk more about Raindrop Kit, but I hope that's helpful. Happy wellness, one day at a time.